yeah, and I had some of my special favorite moments during the set. So I believe my favorite one was when they played Remember. Yeah, unfortunately, like the only problem that I have now with my recording, I don't have any cue, of course. But what I enjoyed very much is also like the reaction on Greyhound. So yeah, so this was actually the intro that took like 4 or 5 minutes, and then the first track that we hear in the background was very massive, I would say. That was one of like out of the released, like unreleased tracks, that was definitely the first one was my favorite one. So it kind of had this we come, we rave, we love. We come, rave, we love kind of vibe to it, I would say. Yeah. So yeah, Remember visuals since Miami. Yeah, I believe they were roughly the same. So yeah. So also I believe what you've mentioned is that there's a lot of so that's the visuals were also rather similar to the ones in Miami. So yeah, of course the question is then you know how much they did, you know, in between like Miami and yeah. So we have We Come, Rave, We Love there. Stockholm, how you feeling? Yeah. So also like I had so much to do. And during there we had Greyhound. I missed the drop. Can you hear the cheer now? At Greyhound it was sick. So I was, you know, you couldn't hear it very well on the mic, but when I kind of, you know, felt that everybody was so loud during Greyhound, it was insane. So yeah, I could have actually called this stream Swedish House Mafia set analysis. Just what I recognize. Yeah, but yeah, very interesting to listen to. And yeah, I want actually to skip a bit to this Underneath It All ID that we've mentioned. Yeah, it was you know, hot contender to discuss. So I saw here, I could have actually written down, like, see for example here that I was posting at 38 minutes teasing Mr. Charlie, which was one of my favorites. Oh look. You saw for a moment my phone there, because I was actually, so I had 2 phones with me. The one I was like streaming the whole set, and on the other one I was taking pictures for Instagram and doing Insta stories. So actually I'm actually full, you know, dump actually, because it seems like I'm the greatest I don't know social media junkie that needs, you know, I need to live stream and to do stories. You know, it just happened, you know. Actually, it was not planned. I wanted actually to do like a 15 or 20 minute live stream as I usually do, and then just enjoy the show. But then, you know, there were 20 people in, and then, you know, at one point there were 70 people in, and I thought, no, I can't stop right now. I can't disappoint so many people, you know, because the highest viewage I ever had, and not even on my content. And I thought, well, yeah, you all had fun, and it's always, you know, I always enjoy, you know, when other people kind of can, you know, can be there, you know, at least, you know, in my mind and all that. And at this very moment, I totally regret that I didn't download it. I wanted to download it, but the download takes over 2 hours. So, and I just came home and I couldn't actually download it in full, unfortunately. So I have to stream it now, and it will be, yeah. Yeah, that was also a very beautiful moment with Sweet Disposition. Yeah, and Dark River. So yeah, they were really, yeah, so they were playing a lot of Extra and Grosso stuff, so yeah, and they mixed it up kind of with Steve Angelo. Yeah. And of course all their classics, so I believe they produced like 6 singles, or 7, as Swedish House Mafia. Yeah, don't count in like Leave the World Behind. There was actually not Swedish House Mafia, because it was Axel and Grosso, Angelo, and Late With Luke. So yeah. But you know, that's a different story, we all know it. Yeah, this was one of my favorite moments. Buy Now for Sale. I was really feeling the drums there. Actually, I wrote down yeah, wow, the snare, I'm feeling it, at 26 minutes. And someone wrote down that it was Buy Now for Sale. I totally forgot, you know, the track idea of this. Yeah, and I was so afraid at, you know, at when the fireworks were inside the arena, because I almost dropped the phone, you know. So yeah. Hey Ricardo, great that you joined in. Yeah. Sometimes I even comment on it. Like my comments were usually in German. Yeah, so because I was actually, German is closest to my heart, obviously, because it's like kind of my educated tongue. My mother tongue is Polish, but I speak better German than Polish. And yeah.
The main ingredient as to why we are here now.
The speeches were amazing. Yeah, the main ingredient is you. And there were, so especially Axwell was thanking us a lot that we, as their fans of Swedish House Mafia, kind of made this happen, because without them selling 120 or 30,000 tickets for these 3 shows, that wouldn't be possible. So yeah, I heard the new ID live. I want to play it in a bit. I'm like going through the set right now. Actually, maybe I post this. Linkadresse kopieren. And yeah, and I want definitely to actually it's actually very much recycling of content now. But actually, there are so many YouTubers doing it. So they do someone is doing something, then one is doing a reaction video, then the other counterpart is doing a reaction video on this reaction video, and then the other part again does a reaction video of a reaction video of a reaction video. And that's actually how they generate content. I saw that already. I can saw this. Laura is loving the review. Thank you very much. Greetings. You are so lucky, Bruno. You have like the greatest girlfriend in the world, I would even say. She's so kind, smiling all the time, so happy always. You're very lucky. You're very lucky, Bruno. And you know, I can always say, you know, say my first impression. You know, I don't know her as long as you, obviously. But yeah, my live stream from Swedish House Mafia show. So I don't want to attack them because they'll take it down, and I don't want that. At least not as long as I. Yeah, there we go. We'll leave the world behind. And yeah, they were also playing some Magnificence, I believe. And I had this, yeah, I want to skip now to Teasing Mr. Charlie. It was one of my favorite moments. And they played the That Is Groove remix. And it's also a very old one, so it's not actually that, yeah, sorry for my bad internet. I don't know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Because I'm also streaming, you know, at the same time, so this is actually kind of bad. And yeah, well, meanwhile we can actually go through the, yeah, we had to Leave the World Behind, That Is Groove, Magic Island rework, and then with Magnificence Cobra. Exactly, that's what I also remember. And why don't you play? This is interesting. Yeah, but Ricardo said his opinion about it. I like the new track. It's kind of bittersweet. You feel it has a tragic vibe, but also uplifting, very emotional. Yeah, it's a mix of both. I would even say it's more like it's not as uplifting. I would say it's more like a melancholic track even. Yeah, and that won't load now. Look at this. This is bad. That's why I wanted to download it, but well, I didn't make it in time. And yesterday I was checking tracks up until I believe midnight, and then I fall asleep in my chair, what I usually do. And then I wanted to check tracks. I wanted to download all this and all that, and then I forgot about this. And yeah, and now we get the problem that I can play this to you because my connection is so weird. But we'll figure it out hopefully. Yeah, hopefully it works now. No, it doesn't. Oh, it does. Okay. It's very strange. But yeah, yeah. Then we had I believe also B. They were playing Russian. There was Russian with Flash, a true classic. Yeah, they played B. He was also great. When this dropped, oh my goodness! Like everybody was cheering, including myself, because I haven't heard B in a long time. And you know, it's like a throwback set. You know, you know all these tracks from 7-8 years ago, and then you hear them again and think, wow, this is what a flashback is this? And that into Knasten, sick. So I really had my favorite moments during this set for sure. So, and I want to know yours. So yeah, let me know. Yeah, and there we go with Knas. And I was singing the melody there. Da, 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 da. So yeah. Yeah. And then we had Teasing Mr. Charlie, exactly. That was at 28 or 38 something. Because I wrote that down. Yeah, 38 41, and look at that. See, it's again stuck. Yeah, I believe it was a bit later. So they had like this. Yeah, there we go. This was Teasing Mr. Charlie. When I heard this, I couldn't even, like, you know, I couldn't believe it myself, because, you know, when you go to a Swedish House Mafia set, you don't expect them to drop Steve Angelo 2008 or 2007 tracks. And Teasing Mr. Charlie was long time my favorite when I discovered it, around, I believe, 2011, because, you know, I went in late into their music. Now let's check this one out. Yeah, that was. I was expecting him not to drop the original drop, but then it was happening. It was. That's me screaming. Ein echter Klassiker, true classic. Because I couldn't realize it. Like nevertheless, I was rather quiet through the set. What surprised me actually a lot. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I was so skeptical about it, and I had so much fun. I would have never ever thought of this. So yeah, this was you know the surprise that I had. And look, it gets stuck. It gets stuck. And now tell me this was a good idea not to download it. Yeah. Yeah, now we are here. Now we are at this Underneath It All ID. Yeah, let's maybe give it a listen. Because there was, yeah, after Teasing Mr. Charlie with How Do You Feel Right Now on the vocals, yeah. And yeah. And it's very interesting because they, after the track, they broke down the whole vibe. So, and I believe this was the track that they made up during like their studio session in Norway, because they rented a studio somewhere to the west of Norway, like the southern part, north and west, somewhere there. And yeah, they had it with I believe these guys that they were playing before them. So I believe Ricardo said it already. Vargas and Lagola. So, and they were so happy that I what I wanted to say that I believe, you know what? I believe the set is not stuck. The problem is that I didn't have a connection. And they just, you know, skipped these parts that I didn't have a connection. This is very likely, because it happened sometimes, you know, because the internet wasn't always very good, but usually it was very stable. So yeah, and I believe this is not my internet. Yeah, because I see that the video is running, and it is silenced there. So that means that this has nothing to do with internet, but with my live stream. So the live stream was just abrupted, and then it had like kind of a silence, and then it kind of, you know, it kind of put further. Actually, I thought that it's going to be uploaded later, but it didn't for some reason. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Underneath It All ID that we've already mentioned. Yeah. We hear a lot of strings in there, but yeah, when it's about mixing and all that, it's very tough to tell anything about it. Yeah, I believe it's just very melancholic, so it's very, very different from that. Yeah. So then after that we had Miami to Ibiza, huge throwback moment for all of us, I believe. And then, yeah, we can already hear it. So yeah, they broke it down then, and then there came Miami to Ibiza, and then Resurrection afterwards. So in a huge mashup. Yeah. So you can already hear that here. Someone asked, anyone know if I can Chromecast a live stream from Facebook? I didn't even know. So this is very interesting. I couldn't actually really help them. Yeah, Resurrection was also one of my favorites. And then afterwards, Payback was played. And this time we can go home, yeah, on the breakdown. Actually, I believe they played it separately. So yeah, Kuba, thank you so much for the love. And yeah, I hope that you enjoy my kind of a reaction to a reaction video. Recycling without any ending for content. Yeah. Yeah, and that was the first time at 1 hour into the show that the rings were on fire, and then Antidote started, yeah, with the Salvador Ganache release. That was before Payback actually. So, yeah, what I loved also very much about the show is that the audience was so in love with all this. So yeah, this is again not my internet, but the live stream. So yeah, it's then simply silent for a few seconds because it didn't kind of stream this whole thing. Yeah, Kupov. Yeah, Champions League. I'll also watch the second half of Liverpool, but I believe today it's rather helpless for Liverpool because well they have to score 4 goals without Salah, so won't be happening, I believe. But yeah, last year, Liverpool, Barcelona was out against Roma with also 3 goals, advantage. Yeah, so anything can happen in football. Yeah, I believe Payback wasn't much recorded, but then they had In My Mind with Book a Shade Love Inc. Was a classic. Yeah, and then afterwards, More Than You Know, as they call it. Yeah. Yeah, it's not about, I was not talking to a Chelsea fan or not, but isn't Chelsea in the semi-final of Europa League? I think they are, aren't they? Yeah. We are the future live today. And Liverpool is already in front. Wow. Congrats. The 7th minute, so you still Liverpool still has a chance. Yeah, and then there was this more, I believe more into barricade then later. Yeah, Chelsea against Eintracht Frankfurt on Thursday will be very interesting. 1-1. Let's see how strong Frankfurt will be on Thursday. Yeah, then we had More Than You Know. Okay, first we had In My Mind with Barricade and then More Than You Know. Was it the original? Yeah. But only the second drop with the vocal over it because not the first one. Yeah. And then there was this very emotional moment when they played Remember by Steve Angelo. So where they said that they... Yeah, you can hear X-Wills. Let's listen.
You did some fucked up things together that you will always remember. You had some good times. You had some good fucking times.
So emotional when X-Will is talking.
And then, have you ever had a fight with a friend?
Yes.
A fight that was maybe a little bit weird. And then after a while, you can't even remember what the fight was about.
Oh, my heart was melting. In that very moment, I felt. Yeah, remember. There I said it. That. And then I see, in the background all the the video of Remember playing, and I get so emotional on it because I see them how young they were back then, and how, you know, there was way before, you know, when I fell in love with them around 2010, 11, somewhere there. Like for them separately. So I loved Steve Angelo, I loved Axwell. There was no EDM. Like it was underground kind of, you know, and EDM kind of destroyed that to some extent. Of course, not everything is like bad about it, you know. We wouldn't have like the festivals now and all that. But, you know, back then it was, you know, way, you know, you felt free. You didn't have any responsibilities. I mean, like, I was young back then, you know. I don't know, I believe I was in the last, you know, I was my senior year, finished my, final class, the final exams, you know, for exiting school. And, yeah, and it was just a great time, you know, to remember, you know, our kind of wild youth, basically. We like speak in Steve Angelo's kind of words. It was just so emotional, and I couldn't actually hold my phone like still, because it was so emotional. I really felt the track because it was one of my favorites on his Wild Youth album, next to Children of the Wild, and I believe Stockholm Skies was also one of my favorite ones. And then I got so emotional on this drop. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. So that was a very emotional moment with Remember. Yeah, and after that, there was Hardest King with Reload and Tell Me Why. So yeah, also with a lot of strings. Yeah. Yeah, and then there was Hardest King into Reload. So yeah, by the way, Kupov, thank you so much for this. For the love of my T-shirt. Yeah, it's a long sleeve by Third Party Together. I didn't actually buy merch there because I didn't feel like buying merch, because when it's about Swedish House Mafia in general, for me, I don't have a huge connection to Swedish House Mafia. It's just a bonus for me. So I have a connection to Axwell, I have a connection to Steve Angelo, but not a strong one to Swedish House Mafia. It just so happened that these are the same persons. So but Swedish House Mafia is only like a bonus. But I believe right now, especially Steve Angelo is playing a solo show somewhere in Spain. I believe that Danny told me from the Size Family group. Yeah, Reload was also very emotional. I remember, for example, last year when Axwell and Grosso were playing in Prague at Magnetic Festival. I was so getting crazy for no reason, actually, because Reload is like 6 or 7 years old already, and I still love it so much. So it's very interesting that they really packed us, all of us basically, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to sell 20,000-30,000 tickets. So we always have to keep that in mind. And but also someone was telling me, I can't remember, I believe it was in a WhatsApp group, that many younger than us, like younger than me also, wanted to say that wanted to see them live, but never had the chance after 2013. So, but the question is then, what is the huge difference between Axwell Grosso and Swedish House Mafia? I believe only the legacy, and the legacy makes up 130,000 people. Like, what if they done a show like this as Axwell and Grosso? Would have been dead worse. I don't know. It wouldn't just be Swedish House Mafia. That's the point. Yeah, but as I've already mentioned, I see. You saw probably on my Instagram that I see this very pragmatically. Oh yeah, another favorite moment. You can hear me sing here. The island was also out of nowhere, and I remember very very well when I heard the track for the first time. It was when Avicii dropped it on Tomorrowland, 2011. I mean, I wasn't there, but this was probably the set that I've heard most in my life. So, oh really? Was it cool? Oh, yeah, Sunburn is in India. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I believe you're also very euphoric about the boys. So, yeah. And then after the island, there was Ingrosso's performance, I would say. We can hear it almost. Yeah, he was dropping a melody on a synthesizer. And yeah, I believe already from these claps, I kind of recognize what will be coming up now. And yeah, and let's have a listen. I hope that I won't be taking any longer than 10 minutes because I want also to play other tracks. But yeah, I believe it's very interesting to analyze this. And yeah, and it got faster and faster than I knew what's coming up. And someone fucked up there because it was already like the back, you know. And then Ingrosso steps up and plays a melody. This one. We all know it. And he fucks up kind of several times, I believe. Yeah. He wanted actually to play it faster. Well, there comes a kick and then plays it faster. So this was very cool, and also I believe someone actually said it on my live stream. I believe it was Nikita. That it was great that they also like kind of introduced synthesizers, like really live instruments, elements. And then it got faster and faster. And then I believe it was played, and it was very interesting to hear the difference between the synthesizer was different. It was kind of a different mix than when they played it from the CDJs then. So yeah, very interesting. Yeah, so they incorporated drums. I believe that Extra was playing the drums as well. So that was very interesting. This is so iconic, the melody. Very interesting. I believe that they didn't play the vocals by Pharrell, which surprised me. But they played, as we hear now, the orchestral version. So I posted this on Swedish House Mafia family. That I forgot the guy's name. Did a collaboration of with Swedish House Mafia. And I would have to look up what this guy's called. And yeah, and we can actually hear it actually very well. Yeah, Kubov. That actually Rosso was usually playing the drums. So yeah. Let me check, because I posted it somewhere. Yeah, there we go. It was Jakob Mühlrath. So yeah, that was very interesting to listen to this version. Look who's watching, Jens Grönberg. Thank you so much for joining. I'm just reviewing, kind of making a reaction video on a reaction video. Their Saturday live sets of Swedish House Mafia. Were you there, by the way? I want to ask that, Jens. Did you watch one of the shows live? Yeah, and if yes, did you like it? And if not, did you like it? Because you probably saw some stories or whatever. And yeah, it was very interesting to listen to this orchestral version of one. Something totally new. But I thought that there would be a real orchestra and play it. But yeah. Oh, you were there Saturday. Cool. Did you enjoy it? I believe you did. I believe you. Yeah, I believe you did. So very interesting to listen to this orchestral version, something different. I really thought that there would be a true orchestra up there. Oh yeah, there we go. Very good vocals. Okay, they were in the second part. I don't remember that one anymore. I was too euphoric about it. So yeah, what else do we have? It Can't Hold Us Down. And then we had the Stairway to Heaven with Don't You Worry Child. That was, I believe, later. There was also Breakdown. Yeah, there we go. Can't Hold Us Down, exactly. And then there was a Breakdown, and then they started with Don't You Worry Child. With also a speech by Axel here. Yeah.
So I guess we're not best friends anymore. I guess we're family.
I would have also loved to hang out with the X-Stone crew. That would have been great. Yeah. And then there was the start of Don't You Worry Child. It started off, you know, very melodic. With this, yeah, exactly, Stairway to Heaven. And then they kind of went over to that. So yeah, Don't You Worry Child was also very emotional. So you could really hear like the cheer also in the crowd. And everybody was very euphoric about singing the vocals as well. Yeah, and after that there was yeah, Sun is Shining and Save the World. And that was it. So yeah, I could really hear everybody was singing. Very, very cool. Yeah, and there was the Sun is Shining vocal, I believe, because I didn't play the drop. Yeah, that's the difference. But yeah, I had Don't You Worry Child that often that I believe I told you the story last week before I head over to Stockholm that I loved Don't You Worry Child a lot, and I loved it that much that I didn't allow anybody to remix it. So when the remix EP came out with the Joris Vaughan remix, the Promised Land remix, and the Kryder and Tom Starr remix, I said no, I'm not listening to this. The original is perfect. I don't want to know the remixes. Yeah, and there were also the fireworks at the end of Don't You Worry Child. Yeah, very spectacular. You could hear it, I believe, very well. And yeah, and after that, really nice. We will never forget. So yeah, I believe Jens, if you're still in, you probably heard all this as well. And yeah, and then they had Save the World, and they had beautiful visuals with all those little kids, you know. They had the widescreen and then like the shades of the kids there. So yeah, that was definitely a very emotional ending, for sure. Yeah, I believe that, yeah, because also they call it the Save the World tour. So when you have like the t-shirts, what a shame I didn't buy at least a t-shirt. 35 euros for a t-shirt, that was so much. I didn't really feel like, you know, spending that much money on a t-shirt. But yeah, you know, I didn't, as I already mentioned, I don't have this connection to have merchandise. With Third Party, for example, I have a connection. So I know the boys personally. I mean, okay, I know X well, but for like 1 or 2 minutes, like, when was this? 3 or 4 years ago, when I was at Sredica Beach in Novalja in Croatia. Then yes, but yeah, any other it was not the case. Yeah, so that was Save the World with very spectacular, you know, kind of classical, like ambient ending to this, you know, with strings and all that, and that was the finale. So beautiful ending to an amazing set where I had a lot of fun, and I was so happy that I was there. So that's all I have to say about it. And then the 3 rings at the end, but one was not burning fully. So yeah, and I want actually to do both picks by phone and to record it, yeah, at the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you had fun. Yeah, and I was so happy to kind of make this happen. So yeah, hope that you enjoyed my review of a review. So yeah, a reaction review to a reaction review. However you wanna like see it. I'll definitely upload this to YouTube. So yeah, it was, yeah, very, very emotional. I liked it a lot. And yeah, and I'm really considering now to buy a ticket for Frequency Festival, or at least for this one day, to see them again. But I'm not sure whether 110 euros is worth it. I will still have to think about it. I know some people that maybe have some tickets. I'll think about it. And I'll let you know. Yeah. Okay, back to music. And you know, now we had so beautiful music, and now I'm heading to a track that made up the whole experience around it. Great. Yeah, Jens, thank you so much. Yeah, my thoughts are mainly positive. I just thought that a few more original new tracks. You know, it's very tough, you know, to get hyped for something for so little. So the only hype was that they're back together, and I felt this peer pressure that I had to be there. I mean, like I didn't have to, but so many friends were there, and I wanted to meet them. You know, I had so much fun with these people, meeting them again, and yeah, and you know, it was just great, you know, to spend time with them, talk about the scene and how they're doing in general, and to meet new people, fresh faces, known faces, and all this. So it was definitely also from this point of view was a lot of fun, and yeah, I still hope for more music to have, you know, to give this a new reborn project a bit more substance, a bit more, that there's more there than just being back together, also to do new music and to release new music. So yeah, I mean, like they you know, they could make a lot out of the even this one ID that they played, or these two IDs that they played, but I hope for more. The question is, you know, with a show like this, I'm not sure whether they will, you know, pull this off to be in the studio, and you know, I believe also that if three people are working on a track, then I believe it's also very tough to get kind of to agree on one version. I believe, you know, when they were younger, maybe they didn't care so much about it, but now that they are more mature, all of them, they have way more experience. They have also different opinions about it. And then maybe one will say, you know, I don't care so much about it. The other one maybe not. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, Jens, you probably know more than I do. So please share your thoughts about how do they work together. I mean, you know, X will for sure better, and the others maybe too. And yeah, tell me what you think about this. Meanwhile, I'll come back to music.